section. So I'm going to start by taking out this bottom. The idea of that is so that I don't cut my perimeter length, so I keep the length through the bottom of the hair. So I'm going to comb my centre part in.
You're going to be making up whatever shampoo and conditioner you're going to use. Okay.
And take that down from the front hairline to the nape. So just like we did for our one length. Around about the sort of middle of the ear, I'm going to come across in my diagonal forward, so the same as we do for our one length. Just grab my clip. And I'll section this out of the way.
So, chemically damaged, boys, if you don't stop talking, I will remove you from the classroom. Diego it was, but you're still listening.
And repeat the same on the opposite side.
Right, chemically damaged. Diego, what does that mean?
Okay, so this will all be combed and clipped away, so I'm not going to cut that.
Right, sorry, can you say that again for Diego who was talking, please?
The next section I then want to take, so to begin my long graduation cut, I'm going to take a profile section through the middle, so I'm going to take a section around about sort of ½ an inch wide through the middle, and I'll cut myself a guide in, so then I've got a guide the whole way through the haircut to work from.
If you're going to be shampooing that, what type of shampoo would you want on chemically damaged hair? Something that will repair, yeah, something that will moisturise the hair.
She is not easy to comb through this one, is she?
Environmentally damaged. What would that mean? Think about environment, what does that mean? Yeah, so the wind, the sun, something that's damaged with that. So what type of shampoo?
The Absolute Repair shampoo and conditioner. She has had quite a bit of chemical treatment. Okay, so the hair that I'm not using in my guide, I'm just going to comb so it's clean out of the way.
So you want what to put back what in the hair again? Moisture.
And you take this section about ½ inch wide through the middle, so that when that then divides in half, you've got a guide for either side.
So then it's asking you heat damage. That's where you're coming into what you just said. Heat damage is straighten your hair.
And again, comb that hair clean out of the way. Take the half brush, comb her through. Okay. So now I've had my section through the middle to use as my guide. I always start mine at the back when I start my guide, so I kind of work it generally in about 3 sections for my guide. Everything is combed up to 90 degrees, and it's cut decreasing in length. One of the first things I always check is where it's going to sit when it drops. So before I cut anything, so you've got an idea when you've had your consultation with your client as to how much and where they would like their layers to sit. Then I have a look, so that's about probably what, 3½ inches. Where will that drop on the head? So most people like their layers to sit kind of around their occipital because that gives you a nice fullness. Okay, that's going to sit just below the occipital. So that gives me an idea of whether I want to go a little bit shorter or whether I'm going to end up a little bit too short. I'd say we're not far off. We also do want to be able to do this again, so we don't want to cut it too short today. So it's combed up to 90 degrees to over directed. My elbow is nicely tucked into my chest, and I cut decreasing in length. Okay, taking my next section, always being careful when you're doing this not to cut too close to your fingers. If you start cutting close to your fingers, that's when you're most likely to cut yourself.
We're not doing flapping or twisting, you're not doing arm dressing, so you can put a line to it.
I took my parting through the centre, so it's part of each side, yeah.
Round brushing, brick winding, setting,
About half an inch. About half an inch wide.
Off each side.
Sorry?
Half inch off each
No,
side.
about half an inch wide, so it's literally half an inch wide through the centre. Okay, so it's combed up to 90 degrees. Elbow is tucked in. I can see my guide from my previous section. I follow that guide and I cut to decrease in length to the front. That will give us a nice shape around the front. So then when we create a forward graduation, so your shape that you get around the face, it's already put half of that in for you, so it saves some work.
Okay, so this is just going to be a practice run for you today to do a shampoo and a blow dry, and I want to see if you can
Comb into 90 degrees,
about an hour,
and I've got my guide on the end here,
and it's got to be,
and I follow through. So our fingers are what will give us our angle. So however I angle my fingers, if I take them more on a slant, I'm going to cut shorter towards the front. If I keep them squarer, I'll end up being the same, or if I want to increase in length, I would direct my fingers up towards the sky.
We're doing a consultation, so I'm expecting you to fill out this, take your time. So with
Up
your
to 90,
that's fine.
slightly
We'll take
decreasing in
longer
length.
with your consultation.
Obviously that would be something you would discuss with your client as to how sort of short or long they want it to be around the front.
I'm just asking you to do a consultation.
Okay. So then we can check where our guide is going to sit
First doing
to make sure we're happy with our layering.
shampoo you think would be best for your block.
So she's going to, her shortest point will be around about the sort of top of the ear.
Details on this, pretend it's Mrs.
I then split mine into two halves, so I work through my back section first.
Well, I don't know, I just give you an example, okay? Just give you an example. So, how many of you got your blocks and your equipment now?
You want me to turn her that way?
But you need
You'll
to
be
have
less likely to
first
see
name
her
and
that
surname,
way,
okay?
because if you see her from the side,
I would like a
then you can
first
see the
name and
angle I'm
surname,
cutting. If you see
and
it from the front, you
I
can't
want
see the
it to
angle
be
that I'm
client
cutting.
condition. So I would like, listen girls and boys, I want client condition. So I want all your equipment laid out on your trolley as you normally do. I want
You can get up and move if you need to move to be able to see. Okay, so twist this hair so it's out of the way. Doesn't want to stay on now. Okay, again the same as you would do your one length. I would take my centre profile section through the middle. I always stand on the opposite side to the side I'm cutting because everything is going to come towards the middle. So if I stand on the same side, I'm less likely to over-direct it to the middle. If I'm standing on the opposite side, you're always going to pull it towards yourself instead of away from yourself.
Before we do anything else, I need to tell you a few things. Hang on.
Again, then we always kind of generally work in about half-inch sections.
If you need a block, take a block, and then take a seat. Yeah.
Coming up to 90 degrees. Can you see my guide there? So I'm following my guide. And because I'm working from the crown up, I'm then cutting to increase in length. How would I cross-check my sides? Any ideas?
Comb the hair together now.
Sorry?
Sorry, my voice is going.
That's all right.
Comb the hair together. I know the sound, but I can't.
To cross-check, the opposite direction, that's it. So if I'm doing vertical sections, I would cross-check horizontally. So we came up to 90 to where we directed. I've got my guide there. And I follow my guide. And you can see how I'm keeping that perimeter length there, how I'm not cutting that length off. up to the crown, so straight up from the crown, increasing in length. And you'll start to see that layering shape when I've done the whole of the back, the layering shape and keeping your length. So we always work to the back of the ear. If you've got any questions, shout them out.
Sorry, guys.
That's all right. Stay in place.
Does it matter how much hair you take in one go? Is it almost...
You need to be able to see your guide.
Yeah.
As long as, if you can't see your guide, your section is too wide. So as long as you can see your guide, it's fine. Okay, so I've done that quarter. So we kind of work in quarters, doing our back 2 quarters and then working to our front 2 quarters. So I'll then work on the opposite side. I'll turn her that way so you can see her. You okay where you are?
We've still got the bottom.
I've still got the bottom is clipped up.
Yeah.
So underneath is still clipped up. And I won't take that down until I finish the haircut. She should stay. I think she's okay now. Okay, so I'm then taking again on the opposite side, about 1/2 inch section. Because I'm working on the opposite side, my elbow will now be close to my chest and I'll be cutting down. Let's find my guide.
What position is it when you're doing it from the other side?
The opposite side I was cutting upwards. So my fingers were up towards the sky on the front here. So I've now changed the angle of my hands.
Keep dropping the bottom bit of hair, does that matter?
No, if the hair drops, it doesn't need to be cut. If I drop the hair, I'm just going to rinse my thing. Would you pause for a second?
Oh my goodness.
Can I just pause it?
You can't put it.
I'm going to have to stop it, ain't I?
Yeah, you have to stop it.
Stop it. Yeah, so if the hair from the bottom here doesn't reach and it drops, you leave it, you don't need to cut it. That's then it becomes your corner.
Sorry, what's that?
And that's what gives you a guide. If the hair from here, when I comb up,
Yeah.
some of this hair isn't going to reach. Okay, so that hair that doesn't reach, so that hair there that doesn't reach, I don't cut. So that becomes part of my length, so part of my perimeter. Yeah, so anything that drops we leave.
It doesn't matter which side you start up,
start-
cutting up and cutting down. 'Cause it's all
Whichever
gonna
side, yeah. I tend to find that most people start on the easier side and get their easy side. Put 'em?
Which is the easiest?
It depends on the person. Everybody's different. Everybody would have depends on if you're left or right-handed. So everybody has one side that they just find it easy to work to. I find this is my easier side. This is always my easier side.
So when you're pulling it up, we're pulling it up, but also pulling it to the middle as well.
Yes, yeah, I'm pulling it slightly towards the middle so it gets longer towards the outside of the hair. Okay, so that's the back half done. If I turn her round, that's the back half. So if I start to shake her, what I'll do is I'll blow dry her as well once you get started so you can see the shape. Okay, and then I can take some photos to go along with the video. So to start my next section, I will work on a forward guide. Okay, I'm going to stand on the opposite. comb towards me. Okay, so I then have my guide here, and I'm cutting up again on this side. Okay. You're confused. It'll be okay once you start. Okay, so you're still combing up to 90, and we're still working on decreasing in length towards the front. So there is my guide, and I cut to follow my guide. So once you have a centre guide in there, that's all you're ever going to cut to. So it should never go any shorter than that. So on the last section, everything is combed up to 90. Comb through. And I should find that there isn't a huge amount to come off of the bottom. So we've just got a very small fine section to come off the bottom. Elevated to 90, and then all there is to come off of this is just that tiny little bit there. Sounds like they have a party next door, don't they? And then when I comb down, you will start to see the shape through the front is already developing. So we could go through, quite often a lot of this is done on dry hair, and shape the perimeter afterwards. A lot, I find, especially if you are doing a lot of layering, people put their layering in first and then go back through and put their shape around the front, because that has already done half of the work for me. You can go in and do it first, but you're going back and doing the same thing twice. So we'll work on this side again. That's alright. I can see. Now I can see here I haven't got a massive guide, so I'm going to take a little section back from the middle again to give me a stronger guide. Comb it down just to check my guide. I don't know if you remember last week I said with the one length, don't carve your fingers too close to your guide, because then you'll end up increasing in length. You want to be able to see the edge of your guide when you cut. So you can cut to it rather than sort of on it.
What's the angle of your hand?
On this one, on this side I'm going upwards, it's pointing upwards. But that will depend whether you're left or right-handed, as to which side your hand will point up and down on.
Should we stand on the opposite side?
Stand on the opposite side. Okay. So there I have a nice clean guide once it came through. Be careful here not to take the top of your knuckle off as well, because you are cutting quite close to the tops of your knuckles, so just be careful. You don't want anybody having leaving with a knuckle missing. Sorry?
Nothing. I would say, but we're videoing.
Okay, so cuts continue decreasing in length, and I should just have a very small section through the bottom to comb up. So again on this side my elbow's tucked in. Whenever my fingers are pointing up to the sky, my elbow is tucked in. Okay, so if ever my fingers are pointing down, my elbow's going to have to be high for my fingers to point down. So if I go through and cross-check, what shape do you think I might see? So I'm cross-checking horizontally, and everything's been brought into the middle. Yeah, I'll see. Well, what I should hopefully see is a triangle like that. If I bring it up. And the steeper your angle has been, and the further you've brought it over, the stronger your V will be. So it's not a massive V, but you can see a V starting to come forward in there. Okay, so you would be expecting to see a slight curve on those edges. Okay, then we can let down the back part once we're happy.
So with the back part, is that from like to the middle of your ear?
Yeah, so it's just below the occipital to the middle of the ear. And then I'd like us to blow dry this today with our round brush, so we can create some volume as well. And I'll blow dry mine so you can see the volume. We should start to be able to see, if we shake her out a bit, the shape of the layers developing through those sides. And obviously the more I dry it, the more we'll see that shape and that lip. Okay?